Hello everyone, my name is Lulu Yin and I'm a PhD student in design at Brunel University. My supervisor is Dr. Eugene Pei, and today is our pleasure to give a presentation about my research, which is developing a toolkit to foster a participatory study of sustainable pavement development. As we know, walking is the most satisfying environmental and age-friendly transport means for sustainable advancement. It's also regarded as the most effective mode of traveling to older people who live in cities and want to be less reliant on driving. However, the condition of built environments and environmental barriers can affect the safety and the quality of older people's walking. Furthermore, behavior changes on the walking pattern of older people are associated with a hazardous appearance on the walking path. Many guidelines, such as Manual for Street and the Pedestrian Comfort Guidance for London, have come out recommendations for building and designing the pavement to deal with the risk of falling and to promote walking in pedestrians. Even so, the working experience of older people and their comments on pavements are not fully regarded by road engineers or design teams. As older adults consume much more time in local neighborhoods, it is crucial to include their knowledge and perspectives in exploring the impact of outdoor environments on their walking, and to find out a way for older adults to participate in the process of shaping their environment. Therefore, we designed a toolkit aims to serve a participatory study allowing older people to share their perceptions and working patterns and to generate ideas. Researchers who carry out the study can be urban planners, environmental designers, and construction consultants. The tool enables researchers to explore issues of the pavement and their impact on older people's walking by collecting data from the elderly participants. As more ideas could be generated between people when they share their individual opinions in a group, the study will be done with a group of older adults. There must be the maximum of 6 participants in the study, and they must be aged over 60 and be able to engage in walking and be familiar with the pavement to be studied by the toolkit. The tool allows users to identify hazardous factors of the pavement in specific locations, investigate the adverse effect of pavement hazards, explore behavior changes of older adults caused by the hazards, and propose recommendations to improve the pavement environment. The content of the tool was created based on the findings of our empirical study. As to the empirical outcomes, we categorized 16 pavement hazards and grouped them into poor pavement conditions and pavement obstructions, including broken pavements, uneven pavements, paving patterns, tactile paving areas, the absence of the pavement, narrow pavements, changes in paving levels such as steps or slopes, use of street stops, parked vehicles, slippery barriers such as water, construction, overground plants, moving obstacles such as cyclists, street amenities, temporal obstructions such as rubbish, and manhole covers. Those pavement hazards could increase the risk of falling and physical burdens to older people and limit their walking or view. Additionally, they could trigger changes in the walking behavior of older adults. There were 13 behavior variables have been classified based on the study results, and they were adopting crucial steps, stepping aside, adjusting pieces, walking slowly, giving way, stopping walking, walking on the side of the pavement, walking in the street, crossing road to the opposite pavement, lowering one's height, raising one's legs higher, facing oncoming traffic, and walking sideways. Finally, we proposed 15 recommendations for the pavement based on the needs of older adults to deal with pavement hazards and to build an age-friendly environment. In summary of the recommendations, the pavement shall be developed by improving the pavement quality, providing pedestrianized pavements, while maintaining street amenities and avoiding pavement obstructions. The figure shows that the tool has 5 components. They are code badges, user instruction, a car park, survey cards, and a recording card. There are 6 code pages, and each of them use a unique number such as 1, 2, or 3 to represent a study participants. The badges allow participants' identity to be confidential and help to prevent participants from giving answers repeatedly in group exercise. The instruction introduced aim, objectives, target users, exercise, and components of the toolkit, and it provides a step-by-step guide for users to use different components in each step. The card pack consists of 16 pavement cards and 96 mini cards. Each pavement card corresponds with 6 mini cards, representing one of the pavement hazards found in our empirical study. The pavement cards are not only used to expand users' ideas, but also employed by participants to identify hazards of a pavement. The survey cards include 6 copies of survey card 1 and a copy of survey card 2 used to explore the relationship between each pavement hazards and older pedestrians. The survey cards are made into a pie chart to ensure that all users read them from different angles. Survey card 1 was made to explore the physical and the behavior impact of each pavement hazard on participants. Each segment of survey card 1 displays an adverse effect or a behavior change. Survey card 2 allows the participant to suggest improvements on the pavement environment using recommendations constructed in our empirical study, and each segment of survey card 2 offers a recommendation to the pavement. The outer part of each card division split into 6. They individually show one of the participants' codes that allows participants to give an answer on the card by simply taking their code. Also, both of the survey cards provide an option of others, allowing participants to add extra findings in addition to the provided content. The recording card has 3 metrics separately used to compare data collected from survey card 1 and 2. The column header of all metrics is the list of the 16 pavement hazards in line with the pavement cards, and the row headers parallel with the topic of the survey cards, which respectively are the impact of pavement hazards, behavior changes in walking, and improvements on the pavement. Each row of the metrics was divided into 6 for researchers to group data from all participants while to distinguish different participants' answers in the same category. So to use the tool, researchers must first prepare a map to present a pavement environment that to be studied. So at the beginning of the study, researchers need to introduce all components of the toolkit to participants and teach them how to use the tool, and then assign a code badge to each participant. Next, participants use the card pack to conduct a brainstorming session on problems with the pavement. Following this, researchers can start to assess the pavement environment by asking participants to point out pavement hazards that exist in the context using relevant pavement cards. Then researchers collect these identified pavement card boxes and take out the corresponding mini cards and ask participants to use mini card to locate the identified hazards on the map. In the following steps, researchers use a copy of survey card 1 to further explore one of the identified pavement hazards with the participants who have referred this issue on the map. Before the survey, researchers need to indicate the identified issue on the center of survey card 1 so that participants know which factor they need to focus upon and to further explore. As to the participants' task of survey card 1, they need to take their codes on card segments if they agree with the statement presented in the portion. As I said, there are 16 copies of survey card 1, so each survey card 1 is used to study a pavement hazard that already identified on the map, and the more issues are going to be analyzed, the more copies of survey card 1 shall be used. Based on the results of map-based assessment and the result of survey card 1, participants carry on recommending improvements to the pavement environment on survey card 2. Finally, researchers cluster all data collected by those survey cards in their recording card. The tool has been tested by target users. There are 2 kinds of user groups, and the feedback from researchers and the study participants could be different according to their standpoints. Therefore, the tool was evaluated in 2 sections conducted separately with elderly participants in workshops and with researchers in an interview-based study. Workshop is a common method to develop a design tool and to identify users' interest and the impact of a design solution. and the workshop aimed to examine if elderly participants could use the toolkit to carry out the tool exercise properly in a group activity. 8 senior residents in London were recruited to the workshop, and they were divided into groups of 4. A map was used for the study, and it was created based on Google Maps. It displayed a part of the pavement environment in London, and it was made in A1 size with a scale of 1 to 2000, enabling all group members to read it correctly. The interview-based study was adopted to test if researchers could self-learn the tool and use it to plan a study themselves. 8 researchers were invited from academic in the industrial field and the local authority of London to the study. They were sampled for a purpose of diversity and a reason that they obtained relevant knowledge or research interest regarding the content of the toolkit. The interviewees comprised of 4 experienced researchers, 2 younger researchers, a designer, and a counselor. They were professionally engaged in the field of transport environments, travel behavior, inclusive design, tool design, highway and pavements, neighborhood maintenance, and architectural design. In the study, the researchers were asked to simulate a data collection user tool and share their user experience and perspectives of the tool. In addition to the texting, a questionnaire was used in both workshop and interview-based study to collect the user feedback concerning the design, information use, and output of the tool. Data collected by the questionnaire were analyzed using the statistical analysis to work out the response rate, and the qualitative information such as additional explanation, insights, and narrative of the users were transcribed and coded and finally grouped into content, design, usability, inputs, outputs, and other comments. According to the user feedback, the tool was simple and well-designed, and it enabled users to efficiently investigate pavement hazards and their impact in working among older adults. It assists researchers to improve the pavement environment and to understand older people's working needs from a new angle. The elderly users indicate that the tool covered almost every factor of their working behavior and every aspect of the pavement. These views were well-defined and emerged all problems that they had encountered in the real world. The tool also includes some forces that older adults have not thought of or considered before that make them think they have the same responsibilities as local councils. The researchers said that the tool provided them a new way to conduct an easy group study with older adults. It helped them to quickly and efficiently get information about hazardous factors of the pavement and barriers to walking. Some of the researchers would introduce the tool to local government and use the tool to train construction engineers and road engineers so that they could be more aware of older adults and hence to improve the pavement environment for them. The researchers also said that the data collected by the tool was analyzable, that could be easily transcribed into a report or design guidance or a design solution. They would integrate the outcome with more evidence in their work field, analyze the data using a technical approach, seek insights into the results, and explore pavements in different areas with diverse populations. An expert would improve the travel experience of older people in adults based on the behavior variables identified by the tool. On the other hand, some users had to take a longer time to learn the tool, especially at the beginning of the study, as they were confused about the instruction and the link between each section of the tool. However, the tool worked well for them as long as they understood the principle. In conclusion, the tool gives a chance for older people to participate in urban development and provide a new way for urban planners, environmental designers, and local councillors to know about the hazardous impact of poor pavement conditions and to better understand the need and experience of working among older adults. User environment studies have been commonly conducted in environmental development as they could help to mitigate unnecessary cost or unaccepted design. Collaborating with older people in urban development has a great impact on building a sustainable community and making policies for age-friendly cities. In addition, outdoor infrastructure can be improved based on a better understanding of elderly people's mobility, requirements, and working. So in future, the tool will be modified based on the user feedback so that it could better assist the target users to assess and improve the pavement. So this is all about my presentation, and thank you for your attention. And if you have any questions or ideas you want to share with me, you are welcome to drop me an email at my email address. Thank you.